Imagine a towering castle casting long shadows over a jagged cliffside, its spires stabbing into the sky like desperate hands reaching for salvation. It is the year 1600, deep in the heart of mysterious Transylvania, where the Carpathian Mountains whisper secrets older than time. The air is heavy with snow and fear, and one name echoes from every trembling lip: Countess Elizabeth Bathory. They called her the Blood Countess, a woman of haunting beauty who, according to legend, bathed in virgin's blood to preserve her youth. But was she truly a bloodthirsty monster? Or was she something else entirely? A woman trapped in a web of power, betrayal, and superstition? In a place where truth and terror become one, we search for the real story. Picture Elizabeth as a young girl, just 15 years old when she married Ferenc Nadasdy, a powerful Hungarian nobleman and famed warrior in the war against the Ottoman Empire. Elizabeth wasn't just a bride, she was a political alliance, a symbol of elite power in the Hungarian aristocracy. Her beauty was otherworldly: porcelain skin, deep-set eyes like midnight skies. But life in Čachtice Castle was no fairy tale. Ferenc was often away at war, leaving Elizabeth alone to manage an immense estate. Hundreds of servants, peasants, and a growing tide of rumors. The castle was a labyrinth of stone, eerie and silent. Long hallways echoed with armored footsteps. Doors creaked in protest, and whispers slipped through cracks like wind. Elizabeth wasn't a typical noblewoman. She was well-educated, fluent in Latin, Greek, and German, and ran her estate with an iron intellect that unsettled the men around her. In a world where women were expected to stay quiet, Elizabeth spoke. And when she spoke, people listened. But power always comes at a cost. From the villages at the mountain's base, whispers began to rise. Young girls, healthy, full of life, started disappearing after being sent to the castle for work or apprenticeship. At first, it was brushed aside. In that era, danger was everywhere. Beasts, bandits, war, plague. Disappearances weren't rare. But then the whispers sharpened. People claimed to hear strange sounds from deep within the castle. Muted screams, the sounds of struggle in the dead of night. The stone floors often bore traces of blood hastily scrubbed away. And strangest of all, Elizabeth remained unnaturally beautiful. At 40, while other women bore the lines of age, she looked like a Renaissance painting, flawless, untouched by time. People began to ask, how did she stay so young? The answer, they whispered, was written in blood. The rumors spread like wildfire, unstoppable. From the villages, they reached the court in Vienna. By 1610, the matter could no longer be ignored. Under pressure from the church and rival noble factions, King Matthias II ordered an investigation. Palatine Georgi Thurzo, an ambitious nobleman, was tasked with the mission. What his team claimed to uncover would shake the Habsburg Empire to its core. Servants were tortured until they confessed. They described a hell where girls were lured to the castle with promises of work or education, then tortured to death. Their blood, they said, was collected in wooden tubs as Elizabeth watched, her eyes glowing with dark ecstasy. Some claimed she drank the blood. Others said she bathed in it, believing it could preserve her youth. The number of victims was staggering. Hundreds of girls, according to some records, sacrificed for her eternal beauty. But wait, imagine you're Elizabeth, a powerful woman, owner of vast lands, living in a remote castle surrounded by enemies. Your husband is dead. You're wealthy, influential, and too independent for your time. Who among the powerful might want you gone? The church, the king, even your own relatives, all had reasons to bring you down. If she were convicted, her vast estate would be divided. Her cousin Gabor Bathory stood to inherit. The king owed her family a massive debt, one that would vanish if she lost her title. There was no public trial. Elizabeth was never allowed to defend herself. No direct witness ever claimed to see her kill. Every testimony came from servants, broken by torture, speaking what their torturers wanted to hear. Anna Darvulia, her closest servant, claimed Elizabeth learned dark arts from a forest witch. A page boy said he saw her sew a girl's lips shut and drink her blood as she died. These tales ignited the public's imagination. Pamphlets, woodcuts, folk stories. Every form of media painted Elizabeth as a real-life vampire, a demon cloaked in nobility. But modern historians uncovered glaring contradictions. No reliable physical evidence was ever preserved. The records are incomplete, missing, or conflicting. The confessions were all extracted under torture. Elizabeth was never granted a formal trial or chance to rebut any accusation. Was this justice, or a political performance designed to eliminate a woman who dared hold power? Some historians believe she never killed anyone, that the entire affair was a fabricated conspiracy. Others think she might have harmed people, but nothing like the mass murder described. Still others suggest she was a product of her brutal time, when beating servants was not unusual among the nobility, and that her actions were exaggerated into legend. In December 1610, the investigators stormed Čachtice Castle. They claimed to find corpses, some still warm, others mutilated beyond recognition. Elizabeth was arrested. Her alleged accomplices were executed in brutal fashion, burned alive, beheaded, torn apart. But Elizabeth, as a noblewoman, could not be tried publicly. Instead, she was confined to a small, walled-off room in her own castle, with only a slot for food. No trial, no defense, no voice. She lived like a ghost in her own home for 3 years, until she died in 1614. No one was present. There was no proper burial, no eulogy, only death, silent and alone. Elizabeth Bathory died, but her story never did. She's remembered as the most prolific female serial killer in history. Legends of 600 victims still haunt popular culture. But what's real? No one truly knows. Perhaps she was a monster. Or perhaps she was a powerful woman destroyed by a world that couldn't tolerate her strength or independence. Today, tourists still visit Čachtice Castle, leaving flowers, coins, as if to comfort a restless soul. Locals whisper of sightings in the Carpathian woods, her spirit drifting in blood-soaked robes, eyes glowing like embers. In the 18th century, someone claimed to discover a hidden chamber, filled with bones and chains. In the 19th, a priest said her ghost confessed to him. But what is the truth? Her story is a mirror, reflecting our darkest fears. Fear of death, fear of losing control, fear of a woman who refuses to stay silent. And maybe that's why we can't look away. Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, no longer lives in her castle. She lives in our stories, our nightmares, and perhaps within us.